Hello students, welcome to e-learning classes. Time for revision students. Today we are going to start your revision with second chapter of history, that is the expansion of British power. As you all know children that India was good for spices like pepper, clove, cardamom, cinnamon, cotton, silk, indigo and many other articles. So the European countries like Portugal, Holland, England, France and Denmark, they began to come to India and start trading with India in these items. So for that they started establishing their trading centers which were called as factories in the coastal areas so that it would be easy for these companies to trade with India as the demand of these spices, cotton, silk, indigo was too much in other European countries. Purchasing items like spices, cotton, silk, indigo and selling them these items in their own country was a profitable trade for these European companies as the demand for these articles were too much in their countries. So these European countries used to purchase these articles in at cheap rate from India and sell them into their countries at higher prices. So in this lieu, all these trading companies, they used to have fight with each other because everybody wanted to trade with India and these European powers made their best efforts to find out new trade routes to trade with India. Okay? These trading companies, they became rivalries of each other, they had fight with each other and with the pass of time few trading companies like Portuguese, the Dutch, Danes, they were ousted from the Indian trade. Okay, and finally, two biggest trading rivalries emerged, which traded with India, and they were the English and the French. As I told you right now, only children, that the English were successful. English company were successful in ousting the Portuguese and the Dutch from most of the ports of India, but still French were there up till the end of 18th century. So both France and England both were eager to establish their supremacy in India because I told you right now अभी अभी मैंने आपको बताया कि Indian trade was the cheapest और यू कैन से मोस्ट प्रॉफिटेबल ट्रेड फॉर दीज कंपनीज इंडिया से ट्रेड करना उनके लिए बहुत ही प्रॉफिटेबल था एक तो इंडियन आर्टिकल्स की बहुत ज्यादा डिमांड थी यूरोपियन कंट्रीज में और दूसरा वो इंडिया से बहुत सस्ते दाम में खरीदते थे और अपनी कंट्रीज में महंगे दाम में बेचते थे सो बोथ दीज फ्रांस एंड इंग्लैंड दे वर ईगर टू स्टैब्लिश देयर सुप्रीमेसी इन इंडिया इन अ बिड ऑफ सुप्रीमेसी मीन्स अपनी ताकत अपनी मतलब सिक्योरिटी इंडिया में स्टैब्लिश करने के लिए कि मैं ही इंडिया में ट्रेड करूंगा कोई और नहीं करेगा दे ऑफन यूज टू हैव वॉर्स विद देम मीन्स फ्रांस और इंग्लैंड में अक्सर क्या होता था वॉर होती रहती थी सो दीज वॉर वॉज कॉल्ड एज कर्नाटिक वॉर्स The English and the French clashed thrice in the Carnatic War, and this war lasted for nearly 20 years, that is between 1744 to 1763. After this Carnatic War, yeah, what was the result of this Carnatic War, children? The result was that the French lost all their possessions in India and British company proved their supremacy in India for trade. See children, initially the Britishers they came to India for trading only. ऐसा नहीं है कि वो हमारी कंट्री में उन्होंने आते से ही रूल करना शुरू कर दिया पहले तो वो आए थे एज अ ट्रेडर ओनली दे केम टू इंडिया टू ट्रेड बट दे ट्राई टू टेक advantage of the privileges given by the Indian rulers. So let's talk about Bengal first. At that time, there was the Aurangzeb was the Nawab of the Bengal, and he gave this privilege to the Britishers that they will not pay any tax for trading. Okay, that was called as duty free. But some officials of the company they took advantage of it, and they expected that the ones who were trading in private trades they will also not pay the tax. So this led to a great loss बंगाल में क्या होने लगा, इससे बहुत ज्यादा लॉस होने लगा. But after the death of Aurangzeb, when powerful rulers, or you can say powerful Nawabs like Alivardi Khan, Sirajuddaulah, they took the command of Bengal, they refused for this kind of concession which was given to the Britishers. ठीक है, Britishers did not like it. ठीक है, and ये Sirajuddaulah, he gave two conditions to the Britishers. One of them was that officials of the company engaged in private trade, they have to pay custom duty. If they will not pay custom duty, then what will happen? The privilege that was given to them, that they will not pay any kind of custom duty, will be withdrawn. जो privately कर रहे हैं उनको तो custom duty pay करनी ही पड़ेगी. And second condition that Sirajuddaulah gave to the Britishers was that the company shall not extend its fortifications. Fortifications means defensive wall. Okay, मीन्स वो अपनी आर्मीज, जो अपने उन्होंने आर्मीज बुलाई हैं या जो भी उन्होंने अपने वहां पे ऑफिसर्स बुलाए हैं, उसको वो एक लिमिट करेगा, उसको वो बहुत ज्यादा नहीं बढ़ाएगा. बट चिल्ड्रन, द कंपनी डिड नॉट लाइक इट. ओके, because they were always in the lieu of granting more and more concessions and privileges from the Indian rulers. This gave to the first battle the first battle between the Nawabs of the Bengal and English East India Company, and the battle was Battle of Plassey. The Battle of Plassey was fought in 1757, and it was fought between British East India Company and the Nawab of Bengal under the leadership of Robert Clive. Children, Britishers did not like all the rules and regulations that were made by Sirajuddaulah to trade with the company, to trade with the country. So they fought with Sirajuddaulah. They came to know that Mir Zafar Ali Khan, who was the commander-in-chief in the army of Sirajuddaulah, desperately wanted to become the Nawab of the Bengal. So they shook hands with Mir Zafar Ali Khan. उन्होंने क्या किया? मीर जाफर अली खान से हाथ मिला लिया under some conditions that they will fight with Sirajuddaulah, they will defeat Sirajuddaulah, they will help Mir Zafar Ali Khan to become the new Nawab of the Bengal, and in return Mir Zafar Ali Khan will have to agree all the conditions that were given by the Britishers, or fulfill everything that they have to. Mir Zafar Ali Khan has to follow all the instructions or the rules given by the Britishers. Actually, Britishers wanted a puppet Nawab for the Bengal, जो उनके सारे instructions को follow करे. So finally, in this battle, Sirajuddaulah was defeated. He was first arrested and then he was killed later on. Mir Zafar Ali Khan was made the new Nawab of the Bengal. After Mir Zafar Ali Khan was appointed as the new Nawab of the Bengal, initially तो he agreed with all the conditions of the Britishers, because he desperately wanted to become the Nawab of the Bengal. But what happened later, children? Mir Zafar, he became unhappy with the interferences of the Britishers in every sphere. Britishers ने इतना ज़्यादा interfere करना शुरू कर दिया that Mir Zafar also became annoyed of it. जब फिर बाद में मीर जाफर ने ब्रिटिशर्स के इंटरफेरेंस को स्टॉप करने की कोशिश करी या उनको डिसअग्री करना शुरू किया, सो व्हाट हैपेंड? ही वाज डिपोस्टेड, उसको उसके पोस्ट से निकाल दिया गया, एंड हिज सन इन लॉ, हिज नेम वाज मीर कासिम, he was appointed as the new Nawab of the Bengal. ठीक है, and he was asked to follow all the instructions that were given by the Britishers. ठीक है. As Mir Qasim was appointed as the new Nawab of the Bengal, so he was expected to follow all the instructions given by the British East India Company, and he was expected to tolerate all the interferences of the British company in his reign. But after some time, Mir Qasim also became irritated. He does not want this interference of Britishers. So he tried to free himself from the control of British East India Company. For this, What he did many things, like he dismissed the court officials who favored the Britishers. He hired European experts to train his army. He abolished all duties on internal trade so that both Indian and British merchants could trade on equal terms. So many things. And he had many wars with the British army. But what happened finally? Mir Qasim was defeated again and again in series of battle. वो बार बार जितनी बार भी उसने ब्रिटिशर्स से लड़ाई करी, बैटल करा, उतनी बार वो हारता गया. So finally what Mir Qasim did, he went to Awadh and he formed an alliance with Sirajuddaulah, who was the Nawab of Awadh at that time, and Shah Alam II, who was the Mughal emperor of that time. These three armies, they combined together and they had a fight with British East India Company at a place called Buxar. It is in Bihar, okay, present day Bihar, on 22nd October 1764. And the result of this battle was that British East India Company defeated the armies of all the three empires, that is Sirajuddaulah, the Nawab of Awadh, Shah Alam II, the Mughal emperor, and the Mir Qasim. Fine. And what happened after that? They signed a treaty with British East India Company, और इस treaty के तहत उन्हें क्या करना था? Like Shah Alam II granted the British East India Company the Diwani of Bengal, Bihar, and Odisha. Diwani means, children, the right to collect revenue. So he gave the right to collect the revenue to the company from Bengal, Bihar, and Odisha. Sirajuddaulah, he was asked to pay 50 lakhs rupees as the war damage, and Mir Qasim was deposed. And again in place of Mir Qasim, Mir Zafar was appointed as the new Nawab of the Bengal. This Battle of Buxar, children, which was the biggest victory of the Britishers, or you can say British power in India. So this sealed the fate of Indian rulers. Fate of Indian rulers means Indian rulers का भविष्य क्या था, उन्होंने seal कर दिया था. ठीक है, and this was the biggest battle, or you can say biggest victory for the British East India Company in India. Children, the another series of war that British East India Company had was with the empire of Mysore, that is South. See children, at that time South was rich in sandalwood, pepper, cardamom, and many other spices. Okay? And South Empire was too much powerful also. Powerful under two great rulers, that is Hyder Ali Khan and his son Tipu Sultan. Tipu Sultan has modernized his army. He has established good relationship with French in India, and with the help of French, he has modernized his army. His army was very strong. Tipu Sultan stopped his export with British East India Company. Export of what? Export of sandalwood, पेपर, कार्डमम. उसने जो ये एक्सपोर्ट इन चीजों का चलता था वो उसने बंद कर दिया, और ब्रिटिशर्स को भी ये रियलाइज हुआ दैट मैसूर एम्पायर वाज बिकमिंग टू मच पावरफुल and dangerous also. So they wanted to suppress the Mysore Empire. वो चाहते थे कि वो मैसूर एम्पायर को दबा दें, क्योंकि फ्यूचर में अदरवाइज they will trouble them. So they had series of 4 wars, which were famous as Anglo-Mysore War, and these 4 wars were in 1767-69, then 1780-84. 1790-92, and the last war was in 1799. In the first 3 Anglo-Mysore War, British East India Company was defeated, but the last Anglo-Mysore War, in the last Anglo-Mysore War, which was the Battle of Seringapatam, the company ultimately win a victory, in which Tipu Sultan was killed, and by this Britishers were able to establish their rule in Mysore as well. After the 3 battles of Panipat, the Maratha became quite weak, and जिसका advantage किसने लिया? Britishers ने लिया. ठीक है? And they fought 3 battles with Maratha. They were called as it was called as Anglo-Maratha War, and the three battles were fought. The first battle was fought in 1775 and 1782. Second war, Anglo-Maratha War, was fought in 1803 and 1805. Third Anglo-Maratha War was fought between 1817 and 1818, which was famous by the name of Pindari War. And in this war, the Marathas were defeated and their power was totally suppressed. Anglo-Sikh War. Ranjit Singh was the founder of the Sikh Kingdom of Punjab and he was a powerful ruler. He had friendly terms with Britishers. He had maintained his army. His army was very strong. And under his rule, the Punjab was free from the control of the Britishers. But children, after the death of Maharaja Ranjit Singh, when his son Dalip Singh, ठीक है, he became the new ruler of Punjab, British found that Punjab empire was becoming weak day by day. So Britishers they quickly took the advantage of it. उन्होंने इसका फायदा उठाने की कोशिश करी and they had a series of two wars with Sikh which was named as Anglo-Sikh wars. ठीक है, and these wars were fought. First war was fought between 1845 and 1846. Second Anglo-Sikh War was fought between 1848 and 1849. And in these Anglo-Sikh War, what happened? Dalip Singh was defeated and Punjab was under the control of the Britishers. The first Governor General in India was Lord Wellesley, and his period was 1798 to 1805 or 1805. So he started with basically two policies, and first policy was the policy of subsidiary alliance. And under this policy, children, the Indian ruler, those who were entering into this subsidiary alliance with the British, they had to accept British forces in his territory and also agreed to pay फॉर देयर मेंटेनेंस. ठीक है, ये कुछ इस तरह का अलायंस था कि जो लोग भी इस अलायंस को फॉलो करेंगे, इसके अंदर आएंगे, वो लोग क्या करेंगे? दे विल अलाउ द ब्रिटिशर्स टू send their armies in their territory and they have to pay the maintenance of the British army as well. And do you know, children, who was the first ruler in, or you can say Indian ruler, to accept this? He was Nizam of Hyderabad. He was the first ruler who accepted the subsidiary alliance. The next policy, or you can say the another policy that Lord Wellesley introduced in India after becoming the Governor General of India, was the policy of outright wars. Under this policy, what happened, children? क्या था कि obviously he gave this option of subsidiary alliance to the rulers. ठीक है, but the weak Indian rulers, they were compelled to accept this subsidiary alliance and to give the permanent posting of British forces in their territory. अब क्योंकि उनको फोर्स किया जाता था, जो वीक रूलर्स थे उनको डराया जाता था, उनको फोर्स किया जाता था कि भैया यू हैव टू एंटर दिस सब्सिडियरी अलायंस और आपकी टेरिटरी में हमारे ब्रिटिश आर्मी रहेंगे ही रहेंगे. अब क्योंकि जब ब्रिटिश आर्मी रहेंगे, सो दे हैव टू पे heavy subsidy for that, because they have to pay heavy amount of money for the maintenance of the British army. If they refuse to do so, obviously then they have to face the war. That war was called as outright war. So children, with these two policies, Lord Wellesley ruled in India. The next Governor General of India was Lord Dalhousie, and he ruled India between 1848 to 1856. Children, he devised two policies. उन्होंने दो policies devise करी and जिसके थ्रू उन्होंने इंडिया में रूल किया. One of that policy was policy of doctrine of lapse. Now, what was the policy of doctrine of lapse, children? Any such ruler or any such king who is under the subsidiary alliance, ठीक है, जो सब्सिडरी अलायंस के अंडर है, दैट मीन्स हु इज अंडर द ब्रिटिश प्रोटेक्शन, डाइज विदाउट एनी नेचुरल हायर. नेचुरल हायर मीन्स उसका खुद का सन, ओके, नेचुरल सन, हिज ओन सन, ठीक है. सो व्हाट विल हैपन, ऑटोमेटिकली हिज टेरिटरी विल बी एनेक्स्ड टू द ब्रिटिश टेरिटरी. अगर कोई ऐसा राजा है जो सब्सिडरी अलायंस के अंडर है, ठीक है, जिसको ब्रिटिश प्रोटेक्शन मिलती है, एंड ही डाइड चाइल्डलेस, चाइल्डलेस मीन्स नेचुरल हायर, then automatically his policy will be lapse and his territory will be annexed to the British territory. So this was the doctrine of lapse. Under this doctrine of lapse, children, Dalhousie annexed many states of India like Satara, Nagpur and Jhansi. The another policy that was introduced by Lord Dalhousie was the policy of misgovernment. Now, this can be better explained, children, with the help of an example. I'll give you the example of Awadh. See, Lord Dalhousie was too much keen to annex the kingdom of Awadh, but this task seemed to be too much difficult. अब ये task difficult क्यों हुआ? Because what happened? The rulers of the Awadh, they were obedient to the Britishers for over the years. सो इट वॉज वेरी डिफिकल्ट फॉर द ब्रिटिशर्स की, मतलब उनको समझ में नहीं आ रहा था कि हम क्या चीज बोले या हम ऐसा क्या करें जिससे कि दे कैन एनेक्स द टेरिटरीज और यू कैन से द किंगडम ऑफ अवध. सो दे गॉट एन आइडिया एज द पीपल ऑफ अवध वर इन ट्रबल, दे वर इन सीवियर प्रॉब्लम, एंड द नवाब ऑफ अवध, दैट इज वाजिद अली शाह, ठीक है, he refused to make certain reforms. Reforms means changes, ठीक है. So he was accused by the government of the British and telling him that okay, he is misgoverning his state, he is not able to govern his state properly. वो अपने state के लोगों को की problem sort out नहीं कर पा रहा है. He is not able to he is not able to govern anymore. So by giving this reason, the Dalhousie annexed the territory of Awadh with the territories of Britishers. Now, the last topic of your chapter is the structure of administration. See, children, once the British started annexing more and more territories of India into their territories, जैसे उन्होंने ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा territories को उन्होंने occupy करना शुरू करा, annex करना शुरू करा, then they realized that they should have proper administrative system also, because if they will not have proper administrative system, then what will happen? They will not be able to rule all the territories of the country. ऐसा हो सकता है कि कोई ना कोई territory उनसे वापस war में जीत जाए. So they wanted to have a strong administration in all these territories. For this, children, they divided the Indian territories into number of provinces. Some of these 3 provinces are mentioned in the screen also: Bengal, Bombay and Madras. These provinces were called as presidencies, and each presidency was administered by a governor. ठीक है, a governor general was appointed by the East India Company to look after each presidency. The day-to-day administration was carried out by 4 agencies, children. The first one is the civil service, which was for the general administration. Then second is the army, which was to protect the territories that were held by the Britishers. ठीक है, जो टेरिटरीज ब्रिटिशर्स ने ऑक्यूपाई करी हैं, उन टेरिटरीज को सेफगार्ड करने के लिए आर्मी वाज देयर. देन द थर्ड वन वाज पुलिस, टू मेंटेन लॉ एंड ऑर्डर and even to ensure the peace in the territories. And the fourth one was the judiciary, to dispense justice. Now first is your civil services, children. Civil services was introduced by Lord Cornwallis, and for this civil services को strong बनाने के लिए उन्होंने क्या किया? He raised the salaries of the civil servants. ठीक है, he started the trend of promotion also. ठीक है. Then they started training the civil servants. Lord Wellesley opened a college there in Calcutta, which was named as Fort William College. Then East India College in England was also opened for that. But children, in this civil services, there was no place for Indians. It was out of the reach of the Indians. Why it was out of the reach of the Indians, children? Because इसके दो कारण थे. First was, एक तो the exam for this was there in the London, ठीक है, which was not possible for every Indian to go there to London and give exam. And the second and the very most important reason is that the medium of this exam was English, which was a foreign language for Indians. So, hence, civil services was out of the reach of the Indians. The next is the army, children. As the Britishers have annexed so many territories of India, so they need a large army to maintain that. ठीक है, to look into the boundaries of those territories. उन territories की boundaries की को check out करने के लिए, ठीक है, उनकी रक्षा करने के लिए कि कोई बाहर से आकर उनमें attack ना करे, ठीक है, they need large army. Plus, they need large army to suppress the internal revolts against the British, and they also need the large army to protect their trading interest as well. For this, they well maintained their army, and in this army, not only British sepoys were there, Indian sepoys were also the part of the British army. But as usual, there were discrimination between the British sepoys and the Indian sepoys. Indian sepoys were not treated good. They were not treated well, and there were too much discrimination between the Indian sepoys and the British sepoys. Okay, Indian sepoys were not promoted to higher post. Even there was the difference in the salary also. ओके, ब्रिटिश सिपाहीज की जो सैलरी थी वो बहुत अच्छी खासी थी, उनको ज्यादा मिलती थी, और इंडियन सिपाहीज को कंपैरेटिवली कम सैलरी दी जाती थी. इसके अलावा बहुत सारे अलायंसेस होते थे जो उनको नहीं मिलते थे. ठीक है, सो दिस वाज द कंडीशन ऑफ ब्रिटिश आर्मी. नाउ नेक्स्ट इज द पुलिस, चिल्ड्रन. The British needed an efficient police force to ensure law and order in the territories. ठीक है, the work of the police was to enforce effective law in the territories. उनका काम था कि जो laws ब्रिटिशर्स ने बनाए हैं या ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट ने बनाए हैं उसको अच्छे से enforce कराना, to check that nobody is violating those laws and to check the crime in the territories. For this, children, Britishers have made various posts for the police, that is the district superintendent, chowkidars, kotwals, darogas, okay? And the highest post, like the district superintendent, which was the highest post, was not there for the Indians. Okay? The people, the Indians, those who have joined the police, they cannot be appointed as the district superintendent. Next is the judiciary, children. Judiciary system was also introduced as a part of administration by the Britishers to dispense justice, right? And for this, Warren Hastings and Lord Cornwallis gave a proper shape to judicial by setting up various courts like civil courts, criminal courts in district, and they even appointed law commission to codify the Indian laws. So all this was done by the Britishers to maintain a strong administration. एक strong administration बनाने के लिए ताकि वो जो इंडियन टेरिटरीज जिनको उन्होंने एनेक्स किया है उन पे वो अच्छे से रूल कर सके. Now children, we know that Britishers, they came to India initially as the traders, but gradually धीरे धीरे क्या हुआ, वो लोग they started ruling our country. They became the conquerors of the country. There were some territories of the country which were not directly under the control of the Britishers, okay? But indirectly they were under the Britishers only. सो देखते देखते क्या हुआ कि द एंटायर कंट्री, जो हमारी पूरी कंट्री थी, इट बिकेम या इट टर्न्ड टू अ ब्रिटिश colonial country. British has colonized the country. So with this, children, your revision of your second chapter of history is completed. Now your work is to go all through all videos and notes that has been provided to you previously and solve the given test. Good luck, children.